Hi. In this video, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about the Lorax. The Lorax is one of the most widely banned of Dr. Seuss's books. It's probably the most widely banned because it's been banned off and on for about 40 years now. Basically since its release in the early 1970s. So it's a book about this forest of truffula trees. Which are these beautiful trees that you can see up here. And this guy named the Onceler decides to move there and develops this thing called the thneed. Now, what is a thneed? A thneed is something that everyone needs. And basically, you can see this thneed there being held by the guy with green arms, which is the Onceler. And it's kind of like something you could maybe wear with like 5 or 6 different holes, but it's not really something you could wear. It's kind of like a blanket slash scarf slash piece of clothing. But it's something that everyone needs. And if you say everyone needs it, then everyone's going to want to buy it. So again, it's about capitalism. It's about creating false demand for a product in order to profit. And you've got the Lorax, who's this little guy with the walrus-looking mustache, who tells him, this isn't good because you're hurting the trees. You're hurting the trees to make this product that isn't really necessary for anyone. And the guy takes the thneeds and he creates a thneed factory and hires all of his friends. And perhaps the saddest part is when the Onceler first comes, there's these little bears called the Barbaloo bears. And they're really super cute. They're like some of the cutest pictures Dr. Seuss ever drew, of these bears that are so happy and playful. But once the factory comes in, the pollution from the factory hurts the bears. And we get one of the saddest pictures of Dr. Seuss, is those little bears who are so sick and holding their tummies because they're very sick, with the lidded eyes, the very sad faces. They look kind of like skeleton zombies. And we see that basically it's had a negative effect on the environment. We can also see that the factory has grown. We can see he's got a lot of things that he's created that can cut down multiple trees at one time. We see the big factory in the background. We see here that the Onceler has a private office and they've got multiple buildings in the factory. I see more tree cutters in the background. Not only do the bears get sick, but the birds get sick and the fish get sick. And you see lots of different pollution kind of throughout. A lot of environmental issues get brought up in the book. Finally, they cut down the last truffula tree, which is what finally ends the operation and the production of thneeds. And they just abandon the factory and leave it there to rot. So you can see the abandoned factory as it just gets left there. And the Onceler has managed to find one seed to the truffula tree, and he gives it to the little boy and asks the boy to plant it. The boy he's telling the story to. And the idea is that children will read the book and want to be like the boy, and they'll want to go out and plant seeds and help the environment. The reason that the book was so controversial is because parents who for a living cut down trees found that their children were rebelling against them. The children would read the book, and they'd tell their parents that they were horrible people, that they were bad, they were killing the environment, they were killing barbaloot bears and fish, and so basically what happened is a lot of the parents who worked in the logging industry wanted the book to be banned. And they were fairly successful. There were whole cities, several different cities that banned, and counties that banned the Lorax and had it removed from libraries, removed from stores in the area in some cases. And it basically was a pretty effective ban. The National Hardwood Flooring Association actually wrote an alternative book called Truax, which I've put a link to on the course website. And Truax tries to argue the opposite, tries to argue that the flooring companies are doing a good thing and that they're benefiting the environment in some ways by doing things like replanting trees that are cut down. But the book also admits that they are killing endangered species, and that those endangered species are basically just kind of the cost of cutting trees down.